Phase 1 of this routine is the warm-up, extremely important. Do not skip this part. So I'm flexing and extending my lumbar spine, or moving my pelvis into anterior pelvic tilt, posterior pelvic tilt. The image is not quite accurate because I'm not in the canister position. I'm going beyond that. That's the image on the left, but the scissors position is accurate. Okay, it's just to give you an idea what's happening with the lumbar vertebrae, lumbar spine, lower back in these two positions, and also what's happening with the abs. I will talk about that a little bit later. So just flex and extend, and then find yourself in neutral position. Okay, hold that neutral position. Stand tall, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling, look straight ahead, and I want you to stand tall throughout. And we're just going to start with a marching exercise. This is warming up the hip flexors, the psoas in particular, which I'll talk about. Here is an image of the psoas, which, as you can see, attaches from our lumbar vertebrae, so all the way through our pelvis, and attaches onto the top of our femur. So it's involved in hip flexion. So we are warming up this psoas muscle, and yeah, that's really important. I will be stretching it later on. Okay, so just to draw your attention to that. Obviously, if that's tight and weak, it's going to exacerbate lower back issues. So looking straight ahead, I'm breathing in this position. Sometimes I bring my elbows to the knees, breathing consistently, standing tall, and just nice high knees. Now I want to raise the heart rate and raise the body temperature with this warm-up. So when you lift your hands over your head, your heart rate has to increase to pump blood up there. So that's what I'm doing that for. I also want to engage your brain. Okay, so this is kind of tricky. It's like, well, try it. So bring the hands to the side whilst marching forward, whilst marching up over my head, whilst marching, and I'm continuing this. So try and coordinate this well. So I really want you to focus, look straight ahead. I'm reducing the number of steps each repetition here, each round. So keep the knees nice and high, keep the lumbar spine neutral, and yeah, we're upping the pace a little bit here. So if you fall off, if you're not quite coordinated, don't worry about it. The important thing is concentration, because we're really engaging the nervous system. Now, keeping tall, I'm keeping the knees high, feeling them at this stage. Going to go slightly different, out wide now, okay? Keep the hands up around shoulder level. We're going out wide. I don't want this to be painful, so working a range of motion that is manageable for you. Okay, hands overhead, just increase the heart rate. I am warmed up. I was back from a 15-minute morning walk before I did this, but I do want you to pay attention to this warm-up. It's really key. It's preparing your body for the strengthening and stretching phases. Now a little bit of a twist and going left elbow to right knee, right elbow to left knee. And exhaling as I bring my knee upwards. So that's really important. Exhale as you bring your knee towards your elbow. Just a little bit of hip circles, dynamic standing hip circles to stretch out. And we're almost into the next phase. But I want you to just feel well warmed up. If you're feeling the hip flexors good, okay, again, work at a range that's manageable for you. So reverse lunge, elbow to opposite knee. Reverse lunge, exhale on the way up. Control it down slowly, exhale to way up. You can do 3 sets of 10 of these or 15 of these if you wanted, if this is too easy. I'm just doing 8 or so each side, trying to keep my balance, looking straight ahead, controlling the reverse lunge, and try to get your elbow, exhale as you bring your elbow towards your knee. Finally, just going to do some squats. Now, I can squat down fine. I have decent enough ankle mobility and hip mobility, but a lot of people have trouble with them. So I'm just using the edge of the pool here to demonstrate a heels elevated squat. So I would encourage, I'd say most people watching this would probably benefit from doing it. And even doing it myself, it helps my spine be more straight. So absolutely use something like some weight plates or some books to elevate your heels and squat down. And we're just looking for good, accurate squats. I'm taking my time going down. I'm trying to be tall throughout the spine, from my tailbone to the crown of my head. I'm imagining throughout this routine a long, elongated spine. and I'm looking for control. Okay, we're not just throwing out squats without thinking about it. We're focused. Okay. Finally, we're going back to just a few more lower back flexion extension, and now we're going into the voyeur stance. So this requires a bit of attention. Look at my toes. I've pointed my feet inwards. My knees are slightly bent, and I'm finding neutral spine. So knees stay bent throughout, almost like a golf swing. Now my palms are facing the ceiling, and I'm shifting to the side. My lower body, from my kind of belly button, from my pelvis down, should stay almost still. My shoulders should stay level as I translate to my right hand side and then back to center. Okay, now this will be tricky. This is difficult. I don't expect you to nail this in your first attempt. But I'm just sliding to one side, returning to the center. Numbers wise, I don't want you to fall in love with rep numbers, 10 to 15, 10 to 20. Do more as you see it fit. And just to show you that voyeur stance again, named after Guy Voyer, toes in towards each other, little bend in the knee, neutral spine. I've just shifted my spine there. I'm going to the other side. Exhale as you go to the side. Don't hold your breath. A lot of you will find you're holding your breath. Just catch yourself and breathe. I want you to breathe as you go out to the side. We're not forcing it. Working your largest pain-free range of motion. And you will find if there's stiffness here, that's understandable, that's expected. A lot of people never move in this plane of motion. But in time, with repetition, with consistency, importantly, you will feel some freedom as you're teaching the tissues of your lumbar spine to move in this direction. Just shake it out there. Take a deep breath. Work at your own pace. Voyeur stance again. Feet inwards. Flex the spine. Bend the knees. Palms face away. And we're reaching to the side. So we're going all the way to one side, all the way to the back, or other side. So shoulders should keep fairly level. I'm doing a reasonable job at this. Like my technique isn't perfect, and that's okay. It's just about making improvements. So breathing, not holding your breath, maintain that spine. So we have a slight pelvic tilt, posterior pelvic tilt. And so our spine's in neutral. We're reaching and we're breathing. Keeping those knees bent just a little bit. That's where I'm feeling it. And I'm thinking about driving my chest, which I just held, laterally. Okay? Keep the hands wide. I should have my wrist more in extension there. Shake it out. So take a few deep breaths. If you need to pause it, do. Take your time here. Next one is just an active stretch. So I'm externally rotating my hand. See the way I'm driving my hand towards the ceiling? So I'm stretching that out. I'm not going to dump into the lower back. I'm bending from the thoracic spine, so staying tall in the lumbar spine. And I'm going to take about 8 to 10 deep breaths into my right upper lung as I just kind of held, into my right side there. Okay, so deep breath in, expand the rib cage. We're looking for that. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Other side, externally rotate. Lift the hands towards the ceiling. Voyeur stance. Bend from the mid-back. Reach that hand up towards the ceiling. I have a bit more range on this side. I was a bit tight on the other side. And breathing into just where I place my hand. Deep breath in. Try and expand that. Each time you breathe, you're trying to expand your rib cage more. And exhale. In through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Keep going. And shake it out. No harm shaking it out, pausing if you need to. There's no hurry here. We're not doing a HIIT session. We're just doing a quality movement session. Take a few deep breaths in through the belly, expand the chest, exhale. Next section, voyeur stance once more. Toes in towards each other, bend in the knee, flex the lumbar spine, palms up towards the ceiling. We're going to translate to one side, then bend down. So to translate, bend from the mid-thoracic spine, shoulders level, and return. These are difficult, okay? I don't expect them to be easy. If you need to take a break, fine. You might feel in the shoulders. I certainly was. I did an upper body session the other day. So all the way over, and then bend from the thoracic spine, breathing throughout. Numbers-wise, again, don't fall in love with numbers. 10 to 20, go by feel. and breathe. Stop holding your breath. Exhale. Slowly twist around. So it's the movement's more coming from the spine than the arms, okay? So we're reaching, sliding to one side, tilting around, return back to center. Shake those arms out. Important to note that the movement isn't just coming from the arms as I'm demonstrating here. It's coming from the spine. So voyeur position, palms towards ceiling or sky. Bend the knees, knees in, neutral pelvis, shift, and then side bend from the thoracic spine. Aim to keep your shoulders level. In time, you could do this in front of a mirror. And yeah, we will improve with practice. I need to improve. We can all improve with practice. So shoulders level, tilt from the upper spine. We're not dumping down into that lumbar spine. We're side bending or lateral flexion from thoracic spine. Shift and breathe. Don't hold your breath. Keep a tall spine, so we're lifting our crown of our head towards the sky. And yeah, tilt over. Tricky drill. Let's go. Do we do side from side pretty soon? Yeah, we're going to do side from side now. So shake it out, breathe. I'm just doing some north, south, east, wests with my neck. And going to assume, or just try the flexion extension again. Can you feel a difference, okay, from how this felt at the start of the routine? I want you to be more aware of this position. That's something you could do all the time, waiting in a queue in the supermarket, for a bank link, for a train. Keep flexing and extending that lower back. So, voyeur position, toes in, knees bent, neutral spine. Shift to the side, all the way to the other side, and keep this going. And breathe, okay? This is difficult. You're probably feeling it. Might even be feeling it in the shoulders, like I mentioned earlier. That's fine. And to keep going. Okay, it doesn't matter what your range is. That's your current range of motion. As we progress through this, as you stay consistent for weeks and months, you will increase range of motion. You are training your spine to get it better at this movement. Okay. Next exercise. So lie down on the ground. Going to exhale as we flex our spine. Inhale as we extend. So lower back into ground is flexed. Opposite way is extension. So this is a floor cog. Now I've introduced some arms, which you can take in or take out. You don't have to do the arms. Initially, you might be able to do it without them. So I'm exhaling at this point, inhaling, externally rotating my arms, arching my back, exhaling, flexing my back, whilst internally rotating my arms. Okay, so this is difficult. Lower back is off the floor, lower back is into the floor. Lower back off and in. We're going to go for time here. You can just go for 1 to 2 minutes or reps. I generally don't count reps. I'm just going by feel. So I'm leaving the arms out of it now. Lower back into the ground and lower back out of the ground. So flexing and extending at the spine. Now I'm reaching the arms in. Note when I internally rotate, which is this motion, I allow my shoulders to roll all the way forward. So I want a deep exhale, inhale through the mouth, fill the chest, exhale, empty the lungs. So you can do a couple of rounds of that. Now we're going into some beast position. So this is the quadruped position. I'm going to flex, extend, find neutral. Go into the beast position by lifting my knees off the ground. And I'm going to drive one knee towards the ground whilst simultaneously retracting the other knee away from the ground. So it's like a scissors motion or a piston motion. So this is excellent if you have any SI pain. And when you think about today, a lot of people never move in this range of motion. So if you haven't, don't expect to be good at this straight away. This takes practice and it's very technical. So send me on your videos, tell us members, and I will give you feedback on your technique as always. But tricky position. So this is the crab position. We're doing the same thing. I like to just drive my heels into the ground and trying to drive one knee forward while simultaneously drawing the other one back. Okay. Again, it's tricky. You won't feel a huge burn or anything with this, but I want you training your pelvis, training your hips, training your lumbar spine to move in all manner of directions. Okay. Now we're on to some core exercises. These are some Pilates-based exercises. I'm driving my lower back into the ground. I'm tilting my pelvis so my tailbone comes off the ground. And I'm going into this one leg stretch. So inhale for 2 leg movements, exhale for 2 leg movements. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. So breathe continuously. A lot of people hold the breath, which is a big mistake. We're looking for about 10 movements each leg, 10 to 12. I can make this difficult or easy, and it looks like I'm pretty much in the same position. Okay, so what really matters is keeping the tailbone off the ground, contracting your abs, working your abs so your lumbar spine is imprinted into the ground. Now take some time. I took a bit of time there. You can pause it if you like. We're going into another round here. So tailbone just off the ground. This is actually the 2 leg stretch. So I'm inhaling, exhaling, reaching my hands to the knees. Inhaling, reach behind, feet away. Exhaling, bringing them together. Really working hard to keep my lumbar spine imprinted into the ground. The further your feet are, or the higher your feet are, the easier it will be. And so I don't mind starting at about 45 degrees angle, keep them high. I would rather you do these correctly than arching your lower back from having your legs too low. So take a breather there, take a bit longer, or take as needed, a minute or so, and let's go into another round. I'll show you some more detail here. With the arrow there, I'm really demonstrating where I want the pressure of your lower back to be. I want it really driven into the mat or into the floor. Inhale for 2 movements, exhale for 2. Take deep breaths. Note the gaze also. I'm looking up at about a 45-degree angle. You don't want to strain your neck here. You don't want to compress the neck, so we're just looking at about a 45-degree angle. Don't rush them. Straighten out the legs fully. Take a breather. I took a bit longer of a breather, so you can pause this and take a breather as needed. Again, tilt the pelvis, posterior tilt the pelvis, lower back really importantly, in towards the ground. Now your pelvis won't actually be moving in this position. Your pelvis is connected to your rib cage via your core, and that's what we're training here, that connection. Okay, and a lot of people lose that. They're weak here, and thus they're overextending at the lower back, and over time that can cause stiffness and pain. So we're really strengthening the core to form so it can play its role at protecting the lumbar spine. This next phase of the routine is the fascial stretching phase. These stretches are complex, they will take practice, and they're very technical. So pay attention and don't expect them to be great first time. The main thing is don't do anything that causes pain. So as you can see, I flexed my lumbar spine. Okay, so it's not extended. I'm keeping a tall spine as we talked about earlier. I'm extending my right hand, externally rotate my right arm, lifting that away whilst leaning forward, maintaining that flexed lower back. So I'm not arching my lower back, I'm doing the opposite. If you notice, my back heel is kind of pointed away from me, don't let it slip in. I'm really reaching that arm away, and essentially, and I'll show you in a moment, my right hand in this case, is reaching away, and think of it like a separating the lower back, because my knee that's on the ground is kind of driving into the ground the opposite way. I'm leaning forward and I'm breathing and trying to maintain a long spine from my tailbone to the crown of my head. I'm imagining elongating my spine, and I'm holding that for about 10 breath cycles, 10 inhales and exhales, which is approximately 30 seconds. So you might even be best off watching this a few times. See the way my foot is out beyond my knee, and then it goes to the right hand side. Then I drive the other knee across, keep my pelvis pointed forward. I'm not arching it, I'm tucking it as I just demonstrated there. I'm externally rotating that left hand in this case. I'm really driving that away, keeping my wrist extended. Now I'm breathing, aiming for, say, 8 to 10 deep inhales and exhales, all the time reaching that hand away. You won't feel this like you might feel a couch stretch on a quad. We are going after the psoas, which we showed initially, earlier in this workout. Okay, and we're breathing deeply. Again, it will take you 2 or 3 or 4 goes to really begin to understand this, and even more to get better at it. I think people just assume they are stretching well, when really these are skills. I've taken the time to learn these because I suffered with back pain in the past, and I have to do them consistently. So what I'm saying to you is, look at these like a skill, to practice, to learn. Don't give up straight away, like so many people do. Flex the lumbar spine, reach forward, externally rotate the hand, drive that up. The arrows are demonstrating I am trying to separate these areas, reach my hand up one direction whilst the knee is going down the other. I'm same with this heel. Don't let that back heel collapse in, reach it away from you whilst thinking about standing tall, reaching that crown of the head towards the sky. I just grabbed my side there. I am taking deep breaths in through my nose. I'm trying to fill up that side of my rib cage and exhaling. I'm doing that for about 8 to 10 or even 12 breaths. The other side now, we go for 3 rounds of each of these. So my foot is like a split squat, but wider, my foot out in front, posterior tilt to pelvis, lean forward. Think about the belt buckle area pointing straight. I'm externally rotating that hand, reaching away, driving the heel outwards from the back leg. Nice deep breaths. I'm not compressed at my neck. I'm thinking about reaching or being tall, like elongated position. So my crown of my head lifting forward, and I'm breathing consistently, flexing the wrist. There's a lot going on in this, and that's really what I want to get across in this tutorial. Again, these are skills that need to be practiced. Okay, so if you're struggling first time, 100%, that's no problem. The idea is just like a golf swing, you're going to practice and practice. Okay, and we have time to practice. As you practice and get better, you will feel the benefits. Okay, so you will benefit even if this isn't 100% perfect. Okay, and that's really key. So I'm internally rotated in my right leg, which is closer to you, by driving that heel out. I'm resting my left arm on my left knee. I'm flexing the lumbar spine, and I'm thinking about driving the pelvis forward and reaching that hand up and externally rotating it. Now I'm breathing deeply into my upper right side, trying to go a little bit forward without forcing it. We want to be relaxed in this. Whilst it's active, we're not gritting our teeth. We're breathing to relax. Deep breath in through the nose to expand the rib cage, expand our lungs. Exhale through the mouth. 8 to 12 breath cycles is what I like to do, or approximately 30 to 40 seconds or so. Take your time getting out of it. Okay, we don't want to be unstable. And breathe. Take a breather if you want. Set up. Pelvis should be straight on, as I'm kind of trying to demonstrate there. Tuck the pelvis, not extending the lower back, flexing the lower back. Just checking the timer. Externally rotate. Look for about 30 seconds, as I mentioned. Even draw that back of the hand towards you as you're extending the wrist. That actually ties up the tissue in the other side of your arm, and really drive the hand up, right? Like a SWAT trying to answer a teacher's question in class, right? Really drive the hand up and deep breathe. I slightly bent my spine to the right. There's Maya in the background. And yeah, there's a few different ways we can move around here. So that's 3 each side for the psoas stretch. This will be a stretch you're more familiar with. The protocol here is 3 sets, okay, each side. We're going for 10 to 12. We're being active. We're working in range of motion. That is challenging, but we're not forcing anything. We never force a stretch. This is just an option with the hand. Pop a yoga block under your knee if you need to. And the last one we're going to hold for about 10 seconds. It's not passive though. What I mean by that was we're not fully relaxed here with the legs. I want a bit of tension in the legs, okay? And as you go through the rounds, now just holding it there for about 10 seconds and breathing deeply to relax, okay? There is a bit of discomfort here. I don't mind that, but I'm not forcing it. Okay? Don't force any stretches. Take your time coming out of it. I like to use my hands. I see some people don't use their hands, which is fine. I like to use them. Okay, so a lot of people would be familiar with this stretch of all the other stretches in this routine. So I'm leaning down, drive my leg into the ground, using my hands for balance, breathing to relax, getting a nice stretch in the glute. I can reach out my opposite hand if I want. I'm going for about 10 to 12 and breathing. Feel that stretch. Do not force it or the opposite will happen. Your body will fight back. Work with your body. I should note, if you're stretching and you're chronically dehydrated, which many people are, you can do yourself damage. Okay, so 40 mils of liquids is our guide per kilogram of body weight. It can take time to get up to that, but do ensure you're well hydrated. I hydrated before and I'll have a drink straight afterwards. Okay, so really important when stretching. And generally, so many people are dehydrated. So this is just a passive kind of rest. My lower back's into the ground. I can kind of resist when I bring my knees together, but I'm just kind of passively holding them, and I can like draw them further apart. So I'm getting a wee bit of a adductor stretch. And breath cycles, again, it might be 5 to 10 breath cycles. Just a really nice position. Think of relaxing the lower back. Okay, we don't want unnecessary tension in the body. So I do want you feeling relaxed here. This isn't about, tensing our body or overly tensing our muscles. A lot of people aren't very good at relaxing our muscles. So that's what we want to do in this. We can train to relax our muscles as well. So I'm getting a wee bit deeper here, you might have noticed. As you get through the phases, as you get through the sets, notice if you're going deeper. Now, don't force it. Some days you'll be more flexible than the others. Some days you'll be more rested. Some days you'll be more stressed. Some days you'll be better hydrated. So the body does change, and pay attention to them. If you can only move at a short range of motion, as I demonstrated, that's absolutely fine. The important thing is to work towards your end range of motion. Again, not forcing it. I'm holding it for 10 deep breaths at the end. And do I have another set here? I think I do, yes. 90-90 position. If your knee is all the way up, which is quite common, pop a yoga block or a book underneath it. And that will prop it up, okay? And we're going for 10 reps again. Taking our time. We can explore the motion. We can go a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. I don't mind that. Don't be afraid to explore. Like, nobody knows your body, how it feels better than you, okay? So if you have to back off, okay? If you feel you can go a little bit further on some certain days, go a little bit further. Just be sensible and think of that. You're working with your body this whole time and working with your breath. Really important to breathe, to relax. Okay, I'm going into the adductor stretch again. Again, we can resist. I really like doing this in between this exercise. You can pull the knees towards me and we can extend them. Now, don't force this. If you can't straighten your legs, no problem. But one thing I like to do is, I'm not sure if I do it in this set, do I? Maybe I don't. Yeah, I do. I grab behind the knees and straighten the legs. If you can, great. If you can't straighten them, don't worry about it. You don't have to, but you might get some length into the hamstrings. Okay. I do one more set. So we've done 2 sets either side. Important to do the 3 sets. A lot of people just want to rush through, okay? And, people don't want to spend the time, creating the body or training your body to move and feel how you want it to. Okay, it's a 35-minute session here. This could be done twice a week, 3 times a week, really. It could be done 4 times a week. You could even take individual exercises that you really like and do them daily. The likes of the one lying down with the arm spirals and flexion and extension. Even this one. So we're going for 10 more reps, 10 to 12 more reps. Breathing continuously. Holding for 10 seconds, nice deep breaths in through the nose. Twice as long as an exhale through the mouth. That's how you breathe to relax. If you're cramping with your leg that's out to the side, you can just bring it forward. That's quite common up around the lateral hip area. Just going for 10. Again, move at a range that is suitable for you on any given day. And breathe. And the protocol is 10 each side with a 10-second active hold at the end. Breathing to relax in through the nose, twice as long as an exhale through the mouth. Now I just hold this position, driving heels into knees. Again, you can do that with heels elevated. Really nice way to have a nice stretch on the adductors. Now, how is that lumbar spine feeling now? Flex and extend. Can you feel a difference there? Flex and extend. Now we're going on to some exciting stuff. This is the L5S1 ELDOA. And as you can see in the diagram there, that's the L5S1 disc that's highlighted in blue. And what we're trying to do is draw the two vertebrae away so we can allow that disc to actually rehydrate, okay, which means it will do its function better. There's a lot of compressive force going on. So look what I'm doing with my toes. They're internally rotated. Okay, my toes are coming towards each other, much like the voyeur stance. I'm making sure my spine is in nice alignment. I'm pulling my toes towards me. Then externally rotating my hands, drive my hands away. I'm looking down towards my knees, keep my eye gaze down, and look at my armpits now. I'm driving my hands in one direction and my heels towards the ceiling in the other. Okay, my knees are locked out. If you can't lock out your knees, don't worry about it. If you feel a stretch, that's fine. That's what we're looking for. But essentially, we are drawing the lower body towards the ceiling and the upper body towards that pillar behind me. And that is drawing tissue away from the L5S1. So we're essentially drawing both those vertebrae apart. Okay, I'm breathing throughout. Like, this is difficult, but don't think of muscling through it, okay? I want you to be able to breathe through it consistently. I'm going to hold this for approximately a minute or approximately 20 breath cycles. And this is, again, it's difficult. We're trying to elongate the spine, so tailbone and crown of the head are reaching as far apart as they can. And think of that. Nice tall neck, and breathing consistently. Keep those feet internally rotated so toes are in towards each other, and then relax out of it. As this is an L4, L5 ELDOA. Okay, so we've done the L5S1. By all means, pause, take a break. Now we're going to another one. So I'm driving my knees down, so I'm getting a bit of an adductor stretch. Even how my feet are matters. I've externally rotated. Now I'm lifting my hands towards the ceiling while my wrists are in extension. I'm looking down. Okay, this is really important with the eyes. Looking down, chin is tucked in. I'm not sticking my chin out. And I'm holding this. I'm breathing. If you didn't notice, I'm sitting on a book. I would recommend a foam book or a thick book. If you're really flexible, have really good range of motion, you could do it on the floor. I find I need a book to do this best. And this is tough. I'm holding this for a minute or about 15 to 20 breath cycles. Breathing deeply, really working those postural muscles. So my lower body, the setup is drawing tissue downwards. Upper body is doing the opposite, and we're looking for space in between that L4, L5 vertebrae. So as the vertebrae can absorb more fluids, water, and then it'll be able to do its job better. But again, we're working all the postural muscles involved. So one round of each is fine. I'm just showing you another demonstration. I'm sitting on a book. Okay, this brush isn't ideal. Get a longer one. I have a longer one at home. I'm trying to use it to see if I can stay straight. Okay, and I don't do an amazing job in this of keeping my back straight. I can work on it, and I need to work on it. That's a pretty good position there, but I could stay straighter. But if I keep working this, I will get it straighter. So same as before, externally rotating the hands. Really lift those hands up towards the ceiling. Knees are going down whilst I'm thinking every breath of lifting my hands and the crown of my head further and further towards the ceiling. I'm breathing continuously in through the nose, out through the mouth, and I'm working hard. My gaze is down. My eyes are looking down. That actually matters for the fascia. So focus on that. And I'm breathing continually. This is difficult work. I can see I could be a little bit straighter, so I need to work on those postural muscles. But that's exactly what this is doing. Okay, so we're drawing those tissues apart for the L4, L5, working on postural muscles, and focused on our breathing, working hard. You're almost there. Keep breathing, keep focused on this. And And that is the L4, L5. So that's the routine, guys. Do it once, twice, minimum, 3 times a week even, and stay consistent.